Hi everyone, it's Tanya Short, Energy Reader here, and I am reading your spiritual guidance / predictions for the love and romance area for December 2020. So before we start, I just want you to take a look at the 3 piles, and we're going to take some deep breaths, and you're going to feel into which pile you're drawn to the most to get the best kind of guidance for you for this month. So we've got the gnome on pile A, the little dog on pile B, and the dice or die on pile C. Okay, so take a deep breath, focus. Okay, hopefully you feel drawn to one of the piles. I'm going to go through each one now and give you the guidance for love, romance, relationships. Let's see what pile A says. It's our little gnome. Okay, so the first card is Shadow. Okay, when we get this is shadow self. Okay, so what are we being told here? We have to err on the side of caution when we see this, because we are being reminded, or something is being highlighted in our shadow self. We all have shadow selves. That's part of the ego that we all have to work on. No one gets away with that as a human being. So if there is something that is triggering in your relationship or relationships, you need to perhaps take a look at yourself. It could mean somebody else, but this is being highlighted for December, so just be aware of it. Remember, when we go back into that kind of inner child state, when we get kind of stressed, but things come out that perhaps are not really reasonable, and we act like a little bit like a child would. That's what this card is telling us. It's being aware of it. Self-awareness will kind of stop this in its tracks. Being aware of your own behaviour will help you to kind of change the behaviour of others and what's going on around you. So that's come up for a reason here. Let's see what goes with it, with the tarot. It's talking about teamwork here in a relationship and focusing on that as well. So that's probably very apt here, you know, with this. So focusing on what you've got in your relationship's important, and what you've achieved so far is a lot. So just be mindful when it comes to this shadow self, either you or somebody else around you, because what you have got is something good. Because when you guys work together, it's strong, and you've already built this up. And this here is some fast moving, sometimes even travel, but it's fast moving energy all around you guys this month. So what are you trying to build together? Because it looks like something's coming in. Now, if you're single and you're thinking this doesn't relate to me, this is more about the work that you put in to kind of get out of, you know, what you want out. If you want to meet the right person, you've got to kind of put the work in there. You've got to connect with others here. This is what this is telling you. Also feel secure being on your own as well, because that's a great way to attract somebody in. And if you do, you know, it's going to be happening quickly. This is quite passionate, actually, this card. So if you're in a relationship, it's all about working together as a team and not getting caught up with that shadow side. And if you're single, it's all about connecting with people and feeling confident in yourself as well. Okay, the last word for you guys is accept. Stay cool, calm and collected. Visualize a healing blue light around you. Allow time for reflection and accept the lesson. So I feel like if you're in a relationship and you chose this, okay, with all the other cards that we've just looked at, what it's saying is we have a good team here. But just be aware of the little niggly shadow side that maybe comes in, either yourself or your partner, which needs to be nipped in the bud, I think is what I'm trying to say with this. But remember what you've got, because you've come far. Okay, what it's saying to you, if you're single, is accept the situation you're in is fine, and be happy and confident and comfortable with that, and love yourself to allow someone to come in. But you do have to do some work in terms of connecting to make that happen. They're not just going to fall on your lap. Okay, so that was pile A. If you were drawn into pile B, which is the dog, let's have a look what your advice for love and relationships is. Financial and material changes. So is there stuff going on around your base chakra at the moment in your relationship, or if you are single? Because this is what this card indicates, that there's a few things, sometimes big, sometimes small, that are going on which affect your kind of where you live, or your house, your home, even jobs, money. I know this year has been difficult for lots of people for many reasons, as we well know. So let's see what goes with this. Okay, it is to do with money, and what it's kind of telling us is to this month, we've really got to look at saving, okay? We've got to look at where we're spending our money, because normally it feels like we can be quite relaxed with money and we can have choice with certain things that we want, which is great. However, there's been a few changes recently that now mean that we may have to hold our pennies a bit tighter to our chest, which you can see there with Four of Pentacles. You may not be used to this as a team, as a couple in your relationship. However, have strength with it, you know, perseverance, resilience every day to kind of get to where you want to go. And this means if you're single as well, I mean, I know this isn't really talking about meeting someone as such, but perhaps it's telling you, if you're single, about getting all of your finances in order, kind of standing on your own 2 feet so you don't need to rely on anybody else. That's what this card is telling you if you're single, or this pile is telling you if you're single, okay? You will get back to this. This is just difficult times at the moment. It's been a difficult year. So you've got to pull on your resources. I think this is what this is trying to tell you. Because temptation leads us to different places, doesn't it? It may be exciting, but take care. With intense emotion, there is a danger of overindulgence, arguments and obsession. This, I feel like if you're in a relationship and you chose this pile, this is talking about the money side of things. You have to kind of knuckle down together as a team here, because it may not be easy with money this month. It's an expensive month and it's been a hard year for most. So you've just got to knuckle down and just get through it, okay? You will for next year. If you are on your own, this could also be talking about being tempted to perhaps kind of go with maybe not the most best choice in person. If you're feeling a bit lonely, that kind of thing, always go with your gut with that. If they don't feel right, then don't do it. So that's your little word of advice there if you chose pile B. Now, if you were drawn to pile C, this is the dice, or die is the correct word for it, isn't it? Let's see what this says for your love and relationships. Ooh, triumph, success. So straight away, this should fill you with some positive energy, seeing that. Look at the hand coming through the ground. It's like we've been working really hard on something in our relationship and we've finally kind of got there. We've won. So is that how you're feeling? Because it looks like that's what's coming in for December. So let's have a look and see what the tarot says with that. Woo! Okay. Do you know what? You have done well. You have done well in this relationship, because we were just talking about money, but I feel this is more to do with how you've been feeling in your relationship. And you've had to work through some stuff, and December is telling you to keep working through it, because whatever you've done or whatever you're doing, it's got to pay off, and we're going to feel good again. So if in your relationship things have not been good, maybe someone's been poorly, or it's just not gelling the way that it normally does, just remember to kind of put the effort in and use all of your resources to kind of make someone feel better again. I feel like this is telling us that there's something going on in a relationship where someone isn't feeling great this month. So you need to get them to this point. And you will. It feels like this is you. You alone will do this. Or they'll do it for you. But I feel this is more you. So the person that's getting this guidance, this is you helping to make that house feel strong, happy, secure. Great team effort there. So if someone hasn't been well and you've been worried about them in your relationship, or they've just not been feeling themselves, or something is just taking a dip in your relationship, I feel like for December, you are going to pick the pieces up and it's going to be okay. If you are single and you're looking at that, this is more to do with how you feel. If you've been feeling the victim a little bit, if you've just been feeling like you're on the outside looking in and everybody else seems to be having all the fun in their relationship while you haven't met the right person, just bring it back to you and how important you are and your friendships and all the wonderful people that are around you. Start looking at it in that vibration, and then you'll bring in more of that good stuff. Okay, so your final word is choice. A choice must be made. Change the situation or change your perception of it. What does your heart say? So going back to if you're in a relationship and that things haven't been great this month, making a choice probably means how we kind of deal with the situation. We can either join somebody in their sorrow and misery and negative thoughts, or we can try to make them feel better and thus make ourselves feel better as well. And the same goes for if you're single. It's your choice, always, how you look at life. And just because you haven't met somebody, if you want to meet someone and you haven't met anyone yet, it doesn't mean you're not going to. This is just a tiny little fragment of time in your life. Okay, so choose how you see the world, how you see your partner, how you see yourself, and the rest will follow. I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and please don't forget to subscribe and like my page. I would love that. There'll be more predictive spiritual guidance each month, and I really appreciate any kind of feedback or any comments that you have. Take care, guys. Bye.